I'd rather make this program about what just aired on the PBS NewsHour because I've given lectures about that since I've been here in Pflugerville about the food toxicity, processed food, the vegetable oils, GMOs, glyphosates, all that stuff. I've done it on here too, I'm pretty sure. And actually, Harvard was the first to reproduce my results in cannabis and neoplasia, cured a brain tumor. As I recall, it was transfected. Sorry, I keep taking my eyes off myself to reach back in my brain for the pictures. But what I'm really going to talk about is you bullies. Me beating up the first bully. You should listen to the PBS NewsHour tonight because it's Harvard. They were the last to get online, and now they're agreeing that the current food and processed foods, these fractionated palm oil, all these other vegetable oils, all this kind of stuff, won't listen to it because they're going to probably get a lot of shit wrong. So this is the story that, as quick as possibly, that I deleted that video earlier because YouTube was in mess up mode then and was actually I couldn't find a way to stop the upload other than to I even tried turning off the phone. I came back on, and so that means that that video counted like 3 times. Every time that's why my video count's not like 190 videos and stuff. YouTube's getting their act together. So let me get it down now that I'm at 2 minutes. I told you the story before. I'll try to compress it and speed it up for your. I've never liked bullies. I told you about stabbing my first bully when I was only 30 something months old, because I know by 36 months I know exactly how I remember it very vividly. And North Bryan, technically be the area, the Anson Jones Junior High. I remember things all too well. That's actually part of my problem with PTSD. So I finished first grade when I was still 5 years old, turned 6 that summer. And so I started second grade when I was only 6 years old. And there was a kid, I think he wasn't in my class. He was, I think, 1 grade up, but he was already about 3 years older than me. He was 9. Of course, I was as big as him. This was an even match. And his father, his name was David Dennis. This is the story of David Dennis, the bully, and what happened to him. And I'll go 6 or 7 minutes here. I'll try to keep it under. His father at that time was the only photographer for the Bryan Daily Eagle, now just called the Eagle, for the BCS area. And I'm pretty sure that his mother was gone or was divorced or something. There was ever any mention of the mother. That may have been the source of his negative attention-seeking behavior as a bully. And all bullies are cowards, and at root, there's always some kind of problem there. I try to understand, I've said before, read Isaiah 45:7. That's God actually trying to tell you a little bit, to have a little sympathy for the devil. And this is the story of another devil, and all you devils are trying to bully me. Fuck you. David Dennis we'd have recess in the morning, afternoon recess and stuff like that. Gotta let kids get out and stretch your legs a little bit. And, even the older boys up to 6th grade, he'd walk up to him and give him that knuckle punch in the shoulder right on that nerve. What is that? It's part of the brachial, but at that point it's radial or whatever. I'm sorry. And, it hurts. If you've ever been knuckle punched right in that spot on your shoulder, it hurts. And the girls, he'd give him a real painful pinch. And one day, I think one of the greatest offenses was that he kind of treated me like a little girl because I was in, grade behind him, and he had been kept back a grade. I'm sure he was 9 years old at that time. By now, he's in his early 70s. And he made the mistake of coming up to me and giving me a painful pinch on my arm, short sleeve, and he knows how to do it. really nobody liked me. And in a blink of an eye, I had him on the ground, was sitting on his stomach while I pummeled his face and chest and neck and everything. Just, I fucked that kid up. And I looked over as I was about to finish up on little Stephen McCorkadale. I shouldn't. He was jumping around going, buy your tickets to the fight, buy your tickets to the fight, calling all the teachers' attention to it. I looked over at my teacher, who was, like a couple other teachers, was holding the one end of the jump rope for the girls and stuff. And she looked over and we made eye contact, and she just turned away and went back to jumping the rope. Didn't give a shit. Nobody ever said nothing. She never said nothing to me. No teacher. I was never disciplined. Everybody wanted that kid corrected. You know, some of you fuckers, you bullies out there, you need a correction. You people are trying to bully me. I know how fucked up you are, because I'm not a bully. I'm not bullying Hobo. I made a legitimate, as others have, as apparently thousands of others have, made a legitimate analysis of his story and his general behavior and demeanor and his video history of him being a drunk ass gangster throwing down and doing that phony Christian act shit. Please get real. You're not going to get me for bullying him. Y'all are bullying me. I report y'all for all that shit. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of channels that are going to get their first, second, and final, or they're going to get a strike right off the bat. Those that were threatening me with kicking my ass, yeah, you ain't got a channel no more, but they'll just create another one. In later years, that was pretty much the end of the, I didn't hesitate. There was absolutely no fear of a bully. And that's part of my genetics. I just whooped his ass quickly. And we were an even match, even though he was about 3 years older than me. Yeah, 3 years. I was the same size as him and most of the people, even in 4th grade or so at that time. I began a real growth spurt around 5th grade. By the time I had 7th grade, I knew I was out of the astronaut program, because I was over 6 feet and 175 pounds. That was the maximum size limit. David Dennis went on, didn't really have any friends and stuff. He worked in the oil field, and in the oil field, he got an arm ripped off or damaged so badly they had to amputate it just below the shoulder. And he probably got a good annuity for life out of it, because it was his right hand. So I remember, right arm. For that, you get extra. If it's your dominant arm or whatever, he always had like a decent truck and stuff. He actually moved into my county, home county. This happened originally in Brazos County. And, we'd run into each other and we'd be friendly to each other, because he knew I had fucking the one that kind of set him straight. Because he came all beat the fuck up. And I bet you his daddy said, you had it coming, kid. His daddy didn't, not another word was spoken about it after me whooping his ass. And that's the way it should be. This may be only the 3rd time I've ever talked about it in my life. Maybe 4th. That eidetic memory creeps up on me. And he would invite me to, I think he even gave me his phone number, cell phone number, and called it. He wouldn't pick up because I had it on my identity, on my caller ID. It was Kent. And in my lifetime, it was only me and William Kent Kruger that named Kent. I really never. There was a mature man named Kent Goss out in California that I met. It was actually our next door neighbors in Belmont when I first moved there. And but that's it. He's probably one sad, lonely old fucker right now. And actually today I've had the company of many people. When I'm not doing this and analyzing videos and shit like that, all sorts of people and stuff. I've had three lengthy conversations today with friendlies and stuff. And the Christian kid was getting it down. As he was leaving, he said, Jesus loves you. And he says, I said, I can accept that. And I was told him, you're doing it the right way. Everybody listening, you need to get your shit together. Nobody likes a bully. You're not going to bully me. I don't bully people on Facebook. I correct them. I am the corrections officer.